How's it going, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to more Spellbreak content today, and welcome to the first episode of the series that I'm calling Basic Gauntlet. We are going to take a very quick and beginner level look at the gauntlets, how to practice and how to use them, and the best way to kind of really utilize them in a fight. So, like I said, the first one today will be Stoneshaper, so we'll get into it. Go ahead and kick back, relax, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. Today we'll be talking about Stoneshaper. As they put it, it's an armored mid-range brawler, which means you can have high sustain with medium range. Your first ability or your spell is called Shockwave. You cause an eruption of fast-moving earth along the ground, and it is quietly fast-moving. Your sorcery is called Boulder Fall. Throw a massive boulder towards your opponents, and it is fairly good sorcery. I highly recommend this is your first gauntlet if you're new to Spellbreak. I recommend that is because it comes with sustain built in, stone skin, max of 20 armor on cast Shockwave. When you're below 20, you get 5 for every Shockwave cast. You get bedrock, which means if you're up in the air, you crash down to the ground when you cast your Shockwave. Your third ability, your boulder size, grows as it flies, and your fourth ability, the capstone of Avalanche, means your max boulder fall charges is up 1. You get +1, which means you have a total of 2 boulders that grow as they go through the air, and you have ridiculous amounts of damage in hand. But we'll get into that. I just want to kind of show you a little bit of the gameplay, so let's hop in there. Looking at the Stoneshaper spell is a very fast moving line, like they said, and the sorcery is a boulder. You launch it out like that, you get a targeting, and then you throw it. It's pretty good, and it does a fair amount of damage. Stoneshaper is a very interesting gauntlet in the way that it gives you built-in sustain, like I was saying earlier. Every time you hit Shockwave, your armor goes up by 5, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner, up to a maximum of 20. If you have a belt that goes higher than 20, it doesn't do it. It goes up to 20, and that's it. Speaking of damage, let's take a look at that real quick. This is a common level gauntlet, so the first one that you will start the game with. And it does 30 damage. When the enemy player only has 100 to begin with, if you are up against someone who doesn't have Stoneshaper and it hasn't been looted out yet, you're most likely going to win in 4 hits. A major drawback of Stoneshaper is that it can't transverse in the air and it has to stick on the ground. The same person that we were just fighting no longer takes damage because Stoneshaper can't reach. However, your boulder still does at a whopping 33 damage. And the damage only goes up from there, like so. We've seen stone skin. What about bedrock? Well, here's bedrock. Come crashing into the ground. And here it is without. Much slower. For your third ability, you gain boulder size growth. So here's your standard boulder, not much growth, and here's your boulder now on your third ability. Grows with size. And the capstone of the class is Avalanche, which gives you another boulder charge, like so. Both growing at the same time. Beautiful. For the final damage total being a grand total of 102. I did my math right. Well, that's all I have to say about the Stoneshaper. It's an excellent gauntlet for newer players, or a fun one to play for veterans. It never really gets bored or tiring, and it's just overall fun. Just keep in mind that if you're in the air, you're a sitting duck, so I would partner with a rune that gives you either mobility or maybe invisibility. I would also partner it with another gauntlet that gives you a little bit more range in the air. It's fairly important to be able to diversify yourself and not be so niched down into one category. However, with all that said, you're going to have some pretty high sustain and overall a good build. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I have a terrible memory and can't remember my notes at all. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this. If this is the type of video you like, go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to comment and even subscribe, that would be amazing. I would love it so much. Please consider subscribing. But that's all I got for you. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, peace.